Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Rich Seriez live show. I have an amazing show today with my special guest, Jamari McNabb. He is the founder of Noted Media Group. He's going to talk about his humble beginnings and his start on founding his own company and his mission to connect hidden and talented creatives from around the world for collaboration. Before I bring him on, though, I want to give a huge shout out to Victor for helping me make this happen and Emmanuel for letting me use this original song right now on my show. But without further ado, here's my guest, Jamari McNabb. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself? Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you. Hey, thanks for being a guest on my show. I greatly appreciate it. How's
Absolutely.
how was your weekend, anyways? Did you do anything exciting?
Pretty smooth. I did a lot of prep work. Right now I'm in my pre-seed round of my business, so I spent a lot of time practicing my pitch. I have a pitch coming up on Thursday, and just
Nice.
doing that and trying to find a good balance of decompressing and getting back to the grind at the same time. So it was a pretty productive weekend.
Yeah, that is the life of a founder, guys. That's
Mhm.
founder life right there. But we will dive deep on
Absolutely.
that itself. But just could you tell us a little bit about your background and your early start on your career itself?
Absolutely. I started in food service when I was young. I've been working since I was
Oh,
16 and transition. Yeah, man. The good old Mickey D's. Did transferred to warehouse work when I got to college. I went to University of Central Florida. Then upon graduating college, I got into the residential project management construction field, and that's a position that I still hold today. So I did a little bit of
wow.
everything.
So you're working while starting this company right now.
Absolutely. I'm my own funding right now. So that's what's going on. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
this is just proof that anyone could put as long as you put your mind to it, anyone could do it. You just got to be you just got to be having the entrepreneurship mindset right there. So what made you and inspire you to start the company, and do you have like a creative background or anything like that?
First off, I have no creative background at all. At all. That's really the reason why I started it. Um, Originally Noted was solely about music and musicians, and I have a passion for music. It was installed in me when I was a child,
Oh,
and then
okay.
so I'm really great at connecting people. So I kind of tried to combine that love for music and me being good at connecting people together in one space. So this is kind of my way of being a part of the creative space. Yep.
That's good. It's always good to have a person that knows exactly like that. There's always that one person that knows a guy that knows a guy, right?
Yeah.
You're essentially it sounds like you're an agent. You have an agent skills right there, which is great. Not everyone has that.
Mhm.
So, can you describe the moment when since you're working right now, could you describe the
Mhm.
moment when you decide to take the leap and start your own venture?
Um, I think what really sparked it was frustration. Well, I thought about the idea about a year before I even moved on it, and I just found myself at work on my job site one day. Don't get me wrong, I'm really grateful for the job that I have, but I kind of felt like I can do more. And I try to use emotions as a compass. So my frustration was telling me that I need to make a change and make a move. So like I said, I was sitting on the idea for a while, and I briefly spoke to my best friend about it, and then I randomly called him, and I just was like, "Bro, do you want to do this?" And he was just like, "I'm all in." And from that moment on, it's just been history, step by step.
That's awesome. Did you have besides your friend that's helping you, you two are collabing for this business here. Did you have any outside influences? So it could be other artists that you know. And I know you say you always been really well connecting, other creatives together. That
Mhm.
really kind of okay, you know what? I do know there's something missing. I'm going to create my own business. Did you have anything like that, or anyone that kind of influenced that?
Um, Honestly, no. Ever since I was a child, I always knew that I wanted my own business. I just never knew in what lane. I remember telling my parents as a kid, um, I want to be a business owner. I want to do this. I want to do that. And so when I think of motivation, it was just a drive that I always had in me. I see my parents go to work every day, so I always thought that it would be awesome to be an owner, to be the resource. Um, Back then, when I first started, noted I identified as being a lone wolf. I took a lot of pride in that, but that
Yeah.
was me operating in ignorance. So when you couple that lone wolf mentality with me always knowing what I wanted to do since a small child, I didn't really have a person that really sparked my interest into doing this. To be
Wow.
honest with you, not at all. Yeah,
Yeah. So is you're, it is something that you were born with, essentially, right? You always had that.
right. It's just in me. That's how I've always been. I've always been, a leader. Always been hands on. Um, I've always been good at delegating. So that's the route I took. Absolutely.
That's awesome. So I know like starting any company is challenging, and it could be the most basic thing where, let's say, you're selling food on the side to creating your own
Mhm.
company. Were there any fears and doubts you had to overcome in the early stages of entrepreneurship? Because it's such a hard thing.
Um,
Uh,
I the fear of failure. It might sound cliche, um, but I learned to lean into that. I'm learning to lean into things that scared me. I felt like if I didn't get rich, I failed, right? But I was disregarding the process, and how it was molding me into be a better person itself, myself. And even if I never make a dollar, I've learned so much and met so many connections all the way that the journey has already been worth it for sure. So, um, also the feeling of not belonging, because I'm like I said
hmm,
earlier, I'm just a guy who worked since he was 16, went to college, regular life, and then I find myself in particular spaces, and I look around, I'm just like, wow, like all of these people are doing it big. So sometimes I catch myself questioning myself, if I belong there, but I have to remind myself the fact that I'm actually in the room. That's the answer, right? I
right.
belong.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm there. So yeah, definitely the feel of failure and belonging. There's two things I had to struggle with. I definitely struggle with.
Right. Another thing, people, especially since you're an entrepreneur, they a lot of people struggle with imposter syndrome, right? Where
Yeah,
they
that's
know
exactly
they
what it
want
is.
it, right? They want to do something, or they know they have the skills to do it, but they don't think they could do it. Or when they're in it already, it gets to the point where like, am I this person, right? I mean, that is such a mental gymnastics,
Right,
right? To just be like, no, I'm here, I'm doing it. I mean, I give you props. You switching this career. You worked in restaurant business and project management and construction, and you
right,
are still doing this on the side. So there's a real study that shows that entrepreneurs, um, there's like a super low rate. There's only, I think it's like 10 or 15% of the world are entrepreneurs, because it's such a hard journey to be successful. And there's different, scales of success. But for you to do that and just actually recognizing that, hey, this is just imposter syndrome, is such a huge achievement. So kudos to you on that right there. Props to you right
thank
there.
you. I
And
appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. So when you're going through the whole system like that, so what was some resources, or I'm sure you had to get some support. What was some of support systems that you relied on early in your own tech company?
Definitely team. I realized quickly the value of having the right people around you. The dev team that I have now, I could brag about all day. I'm so grateful to have them. I'm so grateful, and I was actually able to get a person on my one of the ladies of my dev team. She actually runs my social media as well. So having that seamless integration just makes things that much easier as well. And I'm also partnered up with a couple. My best friend's my partner, so that's we've been best friends since we were what 16, was 13,
Right.
14 years. And then we brought in an outside person. His name is Scott Kelly, and he does a great work. He has a lot of experience in the music and startup space, so I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. It's just up to me to execute. So
Right. No, it's so true. When you have a great team dynamic and you have a team that is willing to put in the work, and there's an episode I did with my other guest, David Nachman. He was the CEO. He says that he likes to hire people that are in their team that has an entrepreneur mindset set, which is so true. What happens is whenever you hire someone in that position, it's your job to execute in that role, right? And when you have a team that's literally hitting everything, doing all the responsibilities and more, based off of what you told me, your whole collaborative environment makes it so much easier, and also makes you want to work harder because you guys have that one goal. I'm so with you on there. I'm very fortunate to have a sales team right now that is like we're all like, hey, how'd you do this? Or we always give each other feedback and whatnot. So no, it's so true. So with you bragging about your team, one of the hardest
mhm.
thing is to choose your team members. So how was that experience? At what qualities were you looking for in them? Like how long it took? That's such a hard thing.
Oh, funny thing about that, this is actually my second dev team. When I
Okay.
first really started to get things going, I was operating out of sheer ignorance. So I thought it would be a good idea. Hey, let's go on Fiverr and find a top rated mobile app developer and just go with him. Um, that's how my journey started. And the first year, we spent time developing the app just for the app to get completed and for me to just sit there. I'm going through it and I'm just like, I hate this. The only reason why I know how to work it is because I helped build it. But
What?
yeah, I completely scrapped
Wow.
it. The UX and the UI, I just feel like the average person wouldn't understand. So I completely scrapped it. I learned my lesson about vetting, and I took some time, and I believe in timing and synergy and synchronicity. So one day I was just on Instagram and I was scrolling on the Afrotech page, and this development team had got featured on one of their postings. And I had no money for a dev team, but something that's told me to go ahead and reach out. Went ahead and reached out. That was a year ago today. Somehow I
Wow.
found the money to hire them. Cause so it just was like, I guess it was just meant to happen. And then we've been kind of riding off into the sunset ever since. The key difference between this team and the team that I have now and my first team is that they care about my product the same way that I do. Um, and when I did further analysis, I felt like the first team who I hired that wasn't the right fit. It was very transactional, but that was a
Mm,
relation. That was a reflection on me because I was so money driven and not service driven. So I attracted these people that was money driven, transactional driven. But when I kind of unplugged from that, I was able to really find my true fit. I have my dev team. Sometimes they honestly they get on my nerves. It's like, yo, leave me alone. We're okay because they're always coming up with new things
yeah,
because
yeah. That's great. Yeah.
but that's a great problem, quote unquote problem to have. Like I wouldn't have it any other way. But definitely vetting, definitely making sure we're on the same page and do you care? So definitely. Those were went into finding my new team.
That's so by the way, what he just said was something he had to learn. So back
Right.
to the whole what I was saying earlier, being founder is so challenging. It's you yes, you think you could do it. in the beginning, but once again, there's hiccups like this, and you were able to get a whole new team, and awesomely you were able to get a team that cares. So true. It goes back to the whole everyone wants, at the end of the day, they want to finish that goal or get to that goal itself. So for people that don't know, what is your company called, and what does your service provide?
So we are Noted Media, and we are a platform for creatives that addresses and provides solutions for the top issues in the creation space, being finding a target audience, monetization, and time management. Um, our goal, in short, is to be the Swiss Army knife for the common creator, providing an array of tools in one simple location of a mobile application. So that's the gist of it.
I can't wait. So how does your platform work, and what is sets it apart from the existing solutions and even other competitors? How does it work?
It's a fairly straightforward process. You sign up, upload your content, then you start browsing the platform, for other talent, other people that you have synergy with, on a creative level. So let's say I may be a recording artist looking for a producer with some fire beats. That'll be something you can find on the platform. We to make it more familiar, we've incorporated things like a feed, a news feed. So everyone that you connect with, you can kind of keep up with. We also have the popular card stack, the little swipe left, swipe right feature. So
Right.
you can just quickly browse through profiles and see who fits
Ah,
you, who doesn't, right? Um, one thing that a big thing that sets us apart is our subscription model is cheaper than our leading competitor, and we really put an emphasis on getting our creators paid. So we have NFT implementation. We can take our users' content, tokenize it, and back it with the smart contract, giving them
wow.
another vertical of monetization. So we're really pro creator. We try to keep the money in the creators' pockets, right? So they can use that money to do things that they need to do creatively.
I never heard of that. Like I've heard, monetizing on NFT art, but
Mhm.
how you just explained your platform, I've never. Yeah, I can't even think of a platform that has the capability to do, or what your guys' goal is to do in itself. So that's really awesome. So when you say swipe right or left, whatever, does your software start understanding with AI that this is your need? This is
Right.
what you like. Oh, okay. Huh. That's
We have
so
algorithms
interesting.
incorporated, so it doesn't really, in a sense, it doesn't waste your time. In a way,
Right.
to
Yeah.
what doesn't fit you, but at the same time, the flip side of that coin is what doesn't fit you could be one of the better things that happen to you. So it's really a toss up. It just kind of depends on how you look at it creatively, what type of creator you are.
Right. Do you have a feature where yes, it would start doing the algorithm yourself, but is there a feature where you do the search and it could be something completely different based off of what your liking is? So, like you said, it might be a missed opportunity for another collab. It could be like a different type of genre or anything like that.
Right, but here's the thing: even if your swipes, the algorithm locks your swipes in a certain fashion, we still have a regular search bar to where you can
Okay.
just go and search whatever genre, what type of creator, whatever category that you're looking for, and it'll pop up. It'll spit you out a bunch of different options for you to choose from. So you really can't lose. So if one day you're in a mood to get out of your bubble and do something different, you can easily search it through our search bar.
Awesome. So, what kind of creatives is your platform targeting, and what types of projects or collaborations can they like undertake using it?
Media based. So media based creatives, musicians, photographers, videographers, producers, content creators. We didn't really want to limit ourselves to one vertical because it's so many parts that go into the creation, content creation. Most of The majority of the app is connecting people and providing resources for them to get over their creative humps versus having the collaboration happen on the platform. But we've been thinking
Oh,
of, right, we've been thinking of ways to, I think it would be cool to have like an AI machine learning tool that can, let's say we have this recording artist music. So let's say Bob has a noted profile and he's a recording
okay.
artist. Let's say Susie, she has a noted profile and she's a producer. It would be cool if I can develop a bot that can extract Bob's lyrics and put it on Susie's beat, right? And then present it to both of them as something new. And then if that gets approved on both sides, they can then make a smart contract out of it, NFT smart contract out of it, and monetize it. So like
Wow.
my mind does like crazy things.
I've never
Absolutely.
seen that. Yeah, it's kind of like working in the real world. You know, I know uh you now with technology you could do collaborations all through, you know, like how we're doing right now. We're doing this collaboration online. But sometimes there's nothing better to do, have that feeling that you're doing collaboration in person, right? It's that you're in that studio or you're in that same circle at that moment creating a project. And I think that's awesome. I just the more you kind of explain that, you know, that feature that you want to incorporate, that's what
Mhm,
I thought of. It had
mhm.
that feeling of being literally in front of the other creative and just, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Is make some
Yep.
money off of it, which is
Yep.
awesome. It is completely different. Like I said, I haven't heard anything like that. Are you planning to do something where, speaking of in person, eventually, where let's say they're in the same local area, they could connect with each other if it
Mhm.
goes beyond that?
Well, that kind of ties into, well, my favorite feature on the app is literally our map. So we have a map that pinpoints and shows you icons of all the other noted users that are around you and globally as
Wow,
well. Because the beautiful part is you never know who can be right under your nose. You never know who's in your backyard. So
that's
it's so
so cool.
simple. It's so simple, but definitely we have a map for that. That's probably my favorite part of the app, the map.
I've never seen that before. That is a first. Because normally,
And
you
what
know, when you go, I'm sorry.
the funny story, what inspired that was I live in Lakeland, Florida, so we're a growing city in between Tampa and Orlando. And I found out that one of Kodak Black's music producers lived 10 minutes down the street from me.
No
And like,
way.
my mind was blown. So even,
Wow.
and mind you, I'm not a creative. I don't make music. So I still felt, I guess the word, the lack of a better term, offended that I didn't know that this guy was 10 minutes down the street from me. So it kind of sparked a question where I'm just like, well, if I don't know that and I don't know how to make a lick of music, what about the other musicians that are local that doesn't know that this source is here? So that's really was one of the catalysts for Noted. Absolutely.
That's so awesome. That is
Right.
such a interesting feature. I've never heard of that. It's essentially, you know, like Grubhub or where you're looking for restaurants right nearby. That is so
Right.
awesome. That
Right.
is, yeah,
Right.
I'm definitely looking forward to whenever this happens. Do you plan to scale this platform internationally to reach, you know, other creatives from different diverse backgrounds, or you're planning to
Absolutely.
keep it all like in the US?
Absolutely. That's the goal. Is just to make as many crazy collaborations as possible. Like, how cool would it be to have a K-pop artist collaborate with the producer from Texas making down south beats? Like, it's just like just the crazy possibility. So that's the point, to expand it globally, to have people just kind of making this intertangled web of creativity. So that'll definitely be cool for the space. So yeah, we definitely
Yeah,
want to go international.
yeah. I mean, you know what would be cool if you could get to the point where once it, you know, once it sets up, you get someone famous, right? It could be, you know how there's like C level, B level, A level, right? Celebrities. And if you get
Right.
someone on that platform and essentially be like, hey, here's my lyrics, or here's my songs, or here's my visuals, whatever, and bam, goes back to the future. That's going to be so interesting. Yeah, that is definitely a game changer. I've used Fiverr before. I've used what was the other one? Upwork, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
And
Fiverr,
yeah, you're
Upwork, I use both of them.
yeah, and yeah, it has a search bar. It has a place where you can see different projects based off the keywords, but there's never been a maps feature, which is oh yeah, because it gets to the point where I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was gonna say I've never seen it where, yeah, there's I never seen a map feature to where you could work with someone in person, because after a while, when you're working with the same person over and over, you want to get their communication really quick, right? You don't want to. Sometimes the response rate is so slow, depending on what projects you have going on, and sometimes you're like, hey, let's just get together and do a bunch of projects together in person. You never know. You might run into a Kodak Black's producer that lives 10 minutes away from you, you know?
It's insane. It's insane. But it's funny that you brought up Fiverr, because we are incorporating a marketplace, a Fiverr-like marketplace in Noted, right?
Oh, really?
Right. So another, giving creators another vertical to get paid, and having other creators, it kind of handles that time management aspect, right? For the little things like we spoke about earlier, the things that actually take away from a creator actually creating, like all the little tedious tasks. Um, so you'll definitely be able to search our marketplace to find your fit to keep your project going, and we charge a service fee that's less than Fiverr's. So I'm really trying to keep the creators here. I'm really trying to make it a one-stop shop. Absolutely.
So let's say I'm an artist and
Hmm.
I'm a writer, right? A
Hmm.
lyrical artist, and then this person is a music producer, and we make a song. Could we monetize it in your guys' platform to where if anyone wants to use it, they could buy
You
it?
can
Is that part of
you can upload it. So we have the capabilities to, I think that would tie into our Web3 technology. We have the capabilities to make it NFT, put a smart contract behind it, but we don't
it?
have the platform to actually host that. That is
Mm,
actually something that we're working on. But yeah, that would be the most. I actually have a call with a Web3 company on Friday about that. But that would be, to me, the most effective way that Noted could monetize both of those two people. Absolutely.
Yeah, think about how many artists out there, right? And the different types of artists where they're trying to monetize it and they just don't know how to. But now you creating a marketplace with the extra features, that's a game changer. Okay, we are gonna touch base in in a few months, and I want to see how you're doing afterwards.
Let's
Um,
do it.
but yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, so what's your long term vision of the company and or for the company, and how do you
Um,
see it evolving the next few years?
long term, we want to go B2B. So we want to go B2B SaaS. I will create a project management software geared toward marketing and media, right?
Mm,
So just imagine your project management software, and as you're going down the line, so let's say you're making a marketing campaign, you need a graphic artist, you need a videographer to shoot the commercial, you might need a cameraman to, or a
ah,
photographer for your photo
uh,
shoot. So we're going to have this project management software for those promotions and drops. But as you're going, the platform is auto suggesting people that are signed up on Noted, right? Giving them a
oh,
chance to have access to brands that they probably would have never had access to before. So we're trying to bridge the gap, but the SaaS won't work if the audience, if the B2C audience isn't there in the first place, right?
right,
So
right.
we're focusing on building that B2C up, show them what we can do. Then eventually we can take that and bridge that gap to the B2B. And it's kind of like one big ecosystem, one big circle.
Wow,
Absolutely.
that is so genius.
Yeah, so
So
that's
that
what we're.
that literally sticks everyone in that platform the whole time. And it's so
Yep.
true. When you're creating a business and to get more, besides doing, sales calls yourself, you got to market yourself, right? But not everyone knows a specific artist, right? Or whatever it is that creative, and they have to go search themselves. Whereas with your platform, you could, oh my God, that's so smart.
Yep.
I can't even think of the creatives are already there. And then with your product, oh my gosh, I've never heard of
And then
that.
the creators
That
are already there. And if you're the company or the brand, you don't have to search, scramble. You don't really ever have to leave the platform if you don't want to.
right,
Um, you don't have to. You don't really have to piece it together between the platform and the audience that we have and the AI that we're going to incorporate in the SaaS software. You really won't have to move much, not do too much clicking. So that's the plan.
right. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. A lot of creatives, they know how to do the creative part, but not the
Hmm.
business part. And based off of what your platform's doing is making the business part a lot easier for them to monetize
Yep.
their work itself, and also their service. That's so awesome. I'm looking forward to it. So speaking of your platform, when can we expect the platform to be
Hmm.
released to the public?
Late right now we're in beta. We're looking for a late Q1, early Q2 launch. We are still in our pre-seed. We're still pitching. I have a couple more pitches coming up. So hopefully I can secure some funding and really put some fire to, some of these features and whatnot that I want to incorporate. Absolutely.
I mean, if you want to, because this is live, be like, hey,
Hmm.
check this out, so you can reach out to more people to fund your project. Don't do that
For
too,
real.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
notedmedia.com, Noted Media Group, LinkedIn. I got to throw my
yeah,
plug in.
yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
Of
that.
course, just be like, hey, this is what we do. So now you can pitch out to more people while still doing the in-person pitching or the phone call, however you're pitching.
Absolutely.
But, hey, just an idea right there. But
Absolutely.
But yeah, Jamar, thank you so much for being a guest on the show. I'm really looking forward to your actual platform. I'm a creative myself, and
Hmm.
I've been able to fortunately make some money off of my creative projects, but I struggled myself, and I honestly think this is a game changer. Everyone that's hearing this, give this guy funding, help him out. Right? No, seriously. But I hope to have you as a guest in later episodes and kind of touch base and see where you're at, and hopefully, yeah, we could try to help out some more on that.
Absolutely. I appreciate the time, Richard. Shoot me an email and I'll get you on the beta. Let me know what you think.
I appreciate it. Thank you. All
Got
right,
you, man.
everyone. Yeah, thanks for being on the episode, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.
Absolutely.